plane burning on the runway, and they told us that we finally saw the smoke. We were close enough, and we landed. They give us hardtack, hot tea, and pony meat.
Pony.
It had boxes there, fresh pony meat.
Fresh pony meat. It wasn't quite as tender as that steak we had today, though, was it?
We,
God.
that old meat with this string in, that string, I don't know. It's pretty good. That's all we had was the hot tea.
You say that about everything. It was pretty good.
Dip it out.
Y'all was there about 3 days?
Yeah, that old hardtack was
Was you shot up or what was it wrong with the plane?
what?
Was you shot up on the plane or what?
Yeah, man, we had one, but 2 people got hit. The co-pilot and that photographer they had on. He got hit in the head, and the other co-pilot got hit in the leg. I got a piece of black, about as big as your finger. It come down in the ammunition chute, going back to my turret. And it set them back.
Oh, they set them off?
I don't guess it's all that dangerous because we didn't get hit with it. But I think we had 200 or 300 hits on that mean bases on that thing.
Oh, were shots where you been shot at? Shot and hit?
And back, you know, it's a 88 millimeter. And it's just little pieces of that thing. The one I had the million on it, you know. That thing that big around.
Did you have to fire against somebody behind you or?
There wasn't nobody to shoot at, but we were there in case, I guess. But that old flag, I tell you, looked like you could walk on it.
Were y'all just a little higher than it? You flew just a little higher than it was able to shoot?
Yeah.
How many missions did you fly?
How many missions?
Uh-huh.
I thought we flew 27, but I think we flew about 17.
What?
I think that's right. I got a list of them at home, and there was 17.
I thought when you hit 25, you could leave.
It's been.
Well, that's the way it was at first, but it got, you know, the war got easier and everything, and they made it 50.
So the full 6-man crew would go out each day? 10-man crew.
10 men.
10 per one bomber.
For one plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you got back off, what'd they give you to eat on your mission?
K rations. And I don't know, they had cheese and crackers and cigarettes. You get 2 Raleigh cigarettes.
2 packs or 2 cigarettes?
Yeah,
2-pack?
no, 2 cigarettes.
That wouldn't even last but that.
That wouldn't even get you
30 minutes.
first coming in. I'd be spoke into on the coming in side.
And a candy bar?
2 cases of Bud
Wasn't
Light.
it a candy bar?
No, they save up.
Huh?
A Hershey's candy bar.
Have a little shot, they said
I
saved
don't
it
know.
up.
Did you say they gave you a candy bar?
Yeah, I think so. We land, and they give us 2 ounces of whiskey. Now you talk about, you're near about an empty stomach, you could do that 2 ounces of whiskey, you had
You had a little home fire burning, wasn't it?
we got us some bottles, and every time we come in, all of us would pour our whiskey in that bottle. And we had 6 filths when the morning. As the enlisted man, that's a filth of feet.
So when did you get donuts? Donuts.
They gave you donuts too. The Red Cross come out there and give you donuts.
What'd those women look like? Donuts.
Do you remember the story
You're
of Bill and O'Neill going to an opera when y'all were in Rome? And didn't O'Neill start singing loud and broke up the opera? Wasn't that way?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess they were lit.
He was about 3 sheets in the wind, and he got in. He got in the opera house and carried on a lot. I don't know whether he threw him out or not, of course.
Probably they did.
Yeah.
The French don't have a sense of humor. Trust me, I spent 2 weeks there last.
Did you tell about the tents you had into your stove and that y'all set up?
It's Calhoun on the ship going over. They sold us cigarettes, nickel a pack. And he bought a whole case of cigarettes. Got over there and the cigarettes were $2.50 a pack. So, or maybe more than that. But anyway, he took that case of cigarettes and bought block and made us a section to put the tin on, you know, and we all had windows, each one of us had a window. And we had a place to hang our clothes inside.
Was this Italy? In Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was in Rome or what city?
Venezuela,
Spinoza.
I thought Italy was the.
about 30 miles
They
out
were
of
part.
Paris.
They were in the beginning of the war. They were the Nazis, right? With the Nazis, the Italians,
Yeah, they were part
and
of
in the North Africa they fought for the Germans, didn't they? Italy.
Yeah.
I guess they must have changed their mind.
They had already gone way up above Rome, you know, and when we went into Rome, we just went in there for R&R, and
We won't ask you
They,
about that one.
we supported the troops up in North Italy. They had it marked off with stones on the bottom with arrows, and we had to open the bomb bay out over the Asiatic, keep from accidentally dropping them on our troops. And we had fragmentation bombs, little cluster bombs, about 1,600 of them. We got over our troops and went on over there, and we got to dropping them things just like a lawnmower on the ground. You could see them things explode.
Had cluster bombs back then.
If you didn't drop your bombs, you had to go out over the Asiatic and drop them.
Who got stuck in the undercurrent? What?
O'Neill dropped the bombs through the bomb bays
He's
before
the
we
crazy
opened them.
one.
He had out there just flapping, and he got out on that little narrow walk, tied a thing to his toe, and trying to reach out there and get the bomb bay door. And I don't remember what happened. I don't think he got the door in, but anyway, he got rid of the bomb bay door.
I guess that wind blew that thing off.
He was a clown anyway. He said he was the only man on the crew that could eat corn on the cob through a tennis racket. He had kind of buck teeth.
That might have come in handy if he'd got a prisoner or something.
Yep. I guess they're all gone.
Bill, the pilot, they went up to their Red's wedding, and they said they were Catholics and they had a big family, and they kept waiting for Red to come out. He said, "Here comes the one O'Neill, here comes another. Well, where's Red?" Oh, he never got out there for the rest of the O'Neills.
How many kids did they have?
Well, this was Red's family, not his.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many children was in Red's family, but they had 4 or 5 children.
I guess
Were they Catholic?
Yeah.
I
They
guess the
came to our
whole
house.
thing's gone.
The whole thing, like everybody.
Well, the only one that I had connection with, he died and we didn't know it. Then it got through through the internet and got his obituary. He told some big cock and bull story about us in Yugoslavia. It took 3 weeks. We slept in caves.
Was he lying?
Got in a boat on the Asiatic and finally got back to the base over in Italy. And that didn't happen.
This was in the paper. Daddy said that was not true.
Maybe he was a little bit confused.
He got in the whiskey.
Oh.
It could have been his family that didn't really know, and they
Made
made
it
a
up.
good story out of it.
Maybe he told them that just to impress them, but didn't have any intention to tell.
Everybody.
Yeah, tell the paper so
Yeah.
people in Mississippi are reading
Daddy
it.
said Don Fowler died. He knew I read that. Knew it wasn't true.
That's funny.
That was the big dude that come to y'all's place that time.
I remember him. I do. I remember that very
Yeah.
vividly for some
Kyle was
reason.
in a beauty pageant over at West Jones, and of course we had to go, and Don and Betty were there, and he had on his shorts, and he's this big. And when she got up there, he got out in the aisle and started whistling.
Cheering, jumping up and down. 200, 300 pounds or more.
Only.
I remember him being a real nice.
Went up in Ohio at one of these tourist courts that had one
Is that a politics?
heated place outside. I didn't have a swimsuit, and he come bringing me out a pair of his shorts. He's about that big. I put them things on, rolled them around me about 3 times. We got in that heated pool, and it's about 32 degrees outside. We sat there for 2 hours and just talked.
Was that everybody that was on the plane? I mean, like the pilot, co-pilot, and the gunners?
Yeah, we had about 3 people that ever did have anything to do with us. 7 of us got together. We had several reunions. We had one at Hilton Head, and one up in Cincinnati, and one up at Ohio, where the Air Force Museum is, Toledo, or
Canton. How old were you when you got in the Air Force?
I was 20. You see, I volunteered, and I didn't go in for a year after I volunteered.
So were you in school at State? You were in college.
Yeah,
Okay. Were you in college when your daddy got killed?
I wasn't up there, no, I didn't go till after the war.
Oh,
He
okay.
was about 17, I think, when that happened.
You were 17 when your daddy got killed?
How did he get killed?
He got hit in the head by.
Have you not heard this story, Leah?
Leah hadn't heard the story about your daddy getting killed, if you were up to telling it.
Well, had this old colored man working for us, and his wife was up gone down in Picayune. And he come in drunk. Daddy was gonna run him off, and he hit him in the head with a milk bucket. I don't know what went on before that. Daddy told him to get out of there, I think. He was fired.
Nobody witnessed it, so.
He hit him in the head with that, you know, the big milk bucket with a handle on top. Had a handle on the side here to pour with, and that's what hit him in the head. Of course, you know, those brains swelled, and back in them days, I don't guess they knew anything about doing like it. Did Clint cut a hole in it. But then he run. He come out in the Time magazine not too long ago and said that he was self-defense. Wasn't nothing self-defense about it. The only one that had a weapon was a milk bucket in that nigger's hand. And he run, and there's a girl working in a 5 and 10 cent store down there in Picayune. He bought a pair of gloves, and that was one of the things that they said his fingers for the home was cut off. And she notified somebody, and they got him.
You know, he was hanged over it.
The trial, you know, was, of course, he said self-defense, and they give him life. And that bunch went in there, and they got that booger and hung him.
Didn't they take him to your house first? They took him to your house first, right?
I don't think they brought him to the house, no. Mama didn't want him up there.
He said his mother didn't want any part of it.
I thought you told me one time they brought him up there and she told him they couldn't do it there.
They never did bring him up there, no.
But she just, I
And what year
think she
was
just
this,
told
like
him.
42.
1942? And you was 17 right before you went
They
into the
still
war.
did that in 1942?
19.
Whoa.
Man, those Meridian voting killings were in 1960s.
Yes, but it wasn't hangings.
Oh no! This was lynching. It wasn't like a mandated.
What's the difference?
It wasn't like
You
a
hung?
mandated hanging. Yeah, they did that.
You know,
But they give him life though from the,
And it made everybody mad.
Because they thought he deserved to die.
And then the men who did it got arrested, right? Some of them, and they stood trial. The man who hanged the guy got arrested.
They tried him in federal court in Hattiesburg.
Who did they try?
Well, a bunch of them, Oscar Johnson, and Tommy Schatz, and Bud Pryor, and there must have been 100 of them.
Really?
And Bill Holyfield, old hair-lip Bill, he said, Mr. Holyfield, was you sitting up with a sick horse? He said, I ain't no one sitting on 4 feet sticking right straight over. They broke the court down.
And they didn't convict any of them.
We got a piece of paper at the house that said Oscar Johnson and Tommy Schatz were turned loose. Now, I don't remember who else was kept on the list, but I don't think he convicted anyone.
so did the lady that was ever come back around or ever,
The wife?
yeah. She had to come get her stuff first.
One of the daughters
I don't know.
came to the house and wanted a job to come cook and iron and all that kind of stuff. We really didn't need her and told her no, and we've never known any of the rest of them.
Were they living in the house down in the pasture?
Yeah,
Not way down, it was up before the pond.
there's one right up on the hill up there.
Where Jacob's horses.
Oh, okay.
It rotted down. It wasn't but about 10 or 12 of them living in it, and it had a kitchen and one big room. It might have been as big as this. And they had beds here and yonder. Of course, there wasn't no money then to build a mansion, you know.
No,
Wait,
My goodness.
It's all that high protein beef you own, girl.
that's interesting, because I never knew the story. I'm glad you told me.
There's a guy came to the house the other day, we told you about it, that wanted to talk to him about it. He's writing a book, and he talked to him, I don't know whether he would or not, but he did, he asked a lot of questions.
I never told y'all this. I told Mom this recently. When I was staying with y'all, it was just me staying one night when I was probably like 9 or 10. I don't know what I was doing, but I was running out to the barn where Mom said it happened. And I was just like digging for stuff. I don't know, maybe we had been digging for worms or something. And I heard this strange, like almost, I know, it was like that. It sounded like something going, oh, like, and it wasn't like a cow or anything like that. It sounded like human vocal cords to me, or a noise of that sort. It scared me so bad. I slammed the door, ran inside, and I haven't talked about it till about 6 months ago. I won't go back out there by myself.
You didn't,
That-
you didn't tell us, did you?
No, I probably just sat there.
Well,
for
see,
the
we'd
rest
have
of the
gone and
afternoon.
investigated if you'd have told us.
I know. I didn't say anything about it. I was just scared.
It happened in the barn?
You know, there's the little wash house and then the red barn that's kind of longer. It happened in that one. It
That'd make a good ghost
Well,
story.
obviously it wasn't too harmful. They never did come after you.
No, I just
It sounded like a good ghost story to tell at night, that's right.
It was scary.
With the
Go
lights
sleep in
out.
that
Can I turn
barn
off
by
the lights?
yourself and see how you feel. It was really scary.
Well, Mr. C, how did you react to that? How did you?
You know, there is a button that does that, Mom. You don't have
Where?
to physically move the camera.
Where's the
Which
one?
Move it back towards him.
Right.
You do
You was down on the coast at
Okay.
the time?
Yeah. And we came back by Hattiesburg to,
Hi.
he
Hello.
had a friend down there, he went to some kind of school, and he wanted to go
I'm
by and talk
recording
to
you.
some of the boys, and we went by there. The highway patrol was hunting,
That windy girl.
and now we were in Hattiesburg. But I got home, went to the Huckabees, and she told me, and I went back down to the hospital, and it looked mighty bleak.
Yeah.
He stayed 2 or 3 days in the hospital
Was he unconscious?
before he died.
Was he unconscious the time?
Yeah, he never gained consciousness. It was pretty traumatic. We were pretty close. We were
You
real
know,
close.
it was devastating to
And
something like that to happen.
I was 19, I guess. It was in 42, so I was born 23, so I was 19. And
So you didn't have to be drafted into the war, right? Because he died,
He didn't have to be anyway, he was the only son.
the only son.
So he
What
volunteered.
made you want to go?
Volunteer or get drafted, one or the other, probably.
What made you want to go to
I
the
don't
war?
think they would have drafted
Just
him.
wrestling with everything, or just?
Well,
just
he would
decided-
have got drafted, but he went to like,
I had,
been
Army.
a secretary. He wouldn't go to a war zone.
had some people
Because
Why?
he was the only son.
working to get me a deferment. And, there's a lawyer Cooper down there in Laurel, and he got me the deferment. I was deferred. But he told me, he said, you gonna miss a lot. You're not going to the war. So my son's going, and he kept talking, and of course I listened to all of it. Now, I went home and told my mom, I said, I'm gonna go to get in the Air Force. And I did. I took cadet exam, passed it. Of course, it took a year to get me in there, but that was all right too. After I got in there, it moved pretty fast.
What'd your mama say?
She was for anything. She told my son, it's all right, we sold the cows. Closed the business.
Was she a true German though? She wasn't. Was she the German?
Well,
Full-blooded German?
grandma was
Full-blooded.
her mama was young.
And grandpa,
Yeah.
She would
and that made her full-blooded.
Yeah, she was full.
Full German.
What is 5M mean?
Oh, tell about the hard time you had when you were discharged.
Well, and I went down and I had on about what I got on now. And I had to pick up cigarette butts and all that kind of stuff. And I got pneumonia just about it. And I got down to Miami Beach and I had to go to sick hall.
Oh, in Miami
Poor guy,
Beach.
They
Poor
put-
old thing.
I bet John Johnson was down there.
Yeah, hard time.
They had this hotel, was a hospital, and I was right by the nurse's station. I had milk and fruit juices and everything anytime I wanted it. And go out in the back and fish, and it was great. But I stayed in there and they checked me over real good, and I went back to my same old outfit. And they had already learned the manual of arms, and I didn't know it. And old Shao taught me with a broom in the room at night. I went out, come off of guard duty one morning about 6 o'clock. I had this old gun running to mess hall, and I run into a lieutenant. I stood there and looked at him, and he looked at me, and I just took the gun and put it on my shoulder and hit run again. He said, "Don't let that gun hurt you, sonny boy." I didn't know how to salute him with a gun.
Didn't you have tonsillitis or something? Tonsillitis.
I guess that's what it was.
Okay.
How long was it from there till you shipped out?
March, I guess, something like that. We went to Laredo, Texas, and left there about the 4th of July and went to Peach, Kansas. No, it wasn't it. Lincoln, Nebraska. And then that's where we gathered up as a crew. Went to Casper, Wyoming, and flew every day, even at night. You know, we had some near misses, even in training. One night we went cross country and we come back and all four engines froze up on that thing and we fell about 1,500 feet. Nobody had to shoot harnesses fastened and we were trying to get ready to die. If we'd have went down, every one of us would have died, I guess.
Could you imagine giving a
Yeah.
plane to 10, 20-year-olds?
Ken Jacobs.
Oh my God.
Are you trying to say that Mr. C is like Jacob? Or Jacob's like Mr. C? Is that what you're trying to say?
I was just exaggerating,
Oh,
taking it
okay.
one step
Just-
further. 10
Clarify.
They all fell 1,500 feet. What happened? The engine, one of the engines started back up?
They used defrosters or something, I don't know what they done, they got it going again.
Oh.
But we
That
was out
sounds
over.
awful.
We was out
That'd
over
be,
the mountains.
it'd be like that airplane.
Real cold. And did it get cool in the tail gunner position back there?
We had heated suits and heated socks, gloves. Had to have it, got 70 degrees below zero up there over the Alps.
Hmm.
About 10 or 15 years ago, Daddy got to fly from Gulfport, wasn't it? In the B-24. And he said it like to scared him to death.
The same plane you was flying over yonder, you got to fly from Gulfport to Laurel?
Hattiesburg.
Oh, to Hattiesburg?
Just 40 years difference.
They were supposed to come out at the house and fly over the house and go back to Hattiesburg, I reckon. David and Clint got up there on the hill and they waited all evening. They couldn't get the landing gear to come up and they couldn't make that run. So we went to Hattiesburg and landed.
Was it bumpy?
I'm sure.
Rough.
I'd a lot rather Jared have ridden that run.
Didn't you have to abandon plane at one point over what you thought was enemy territory?
Didn't we go to law and try to get Jared in a plane and fly around a little? And he wouldn't get in there.
That still haunted you a few years ago,
I don't
didn't it?
remember that, Jared.
Let me tell you
I've
what,
taken a few lessons since then.
talking about World War II, the Isaacs, their grandmother was in one of those prison camps. You know, the group we heard sing?
Yeah, and the Isaacs.
They were really good.
Well, no, I was just telling a
Yes.
story, and they said they went and visited one of the camps where their grandmother was. That they had a lot of mixed feelings about it, hurt and anger and
I imagine so.
Auschwitz or something.
Yeah,
like that one.
Auschwitz.
in Germany. And you ought to hear some of the, while I was in France, me and Peter got a chance to really, as we was seeing some of the things, you know, Napoleon and all that, we had some good interchanges about the war and all. You'd be surprised how some of their people felt about how they were betrayed by Hitler and all that. So you never know what's going through the poor common people's state of mind, you know, because
A lot of the Germans didn't know really what was going on.
they were following order just like we were following order.
How could you not know what was going on when bombs are blasting in every country
Well,
all
I'm
around
talking
you?
about like the Jews being,
Slaughter?
yeah.
I probably didn't want to know.
Well, they assisted us in a lot, you know, ordinary people.
Same thing Ahmadinejad said.
Stuck their necks out to do it.
Smile, Joe.
Oh,
Okay, that means it's time to go. She's taking photos.
Tell one Aunt Laylee's story. Tell about her boyfriend, and we'll go home.
About what?
Aunt Laylee's boyfriend.
Tell about peanut butter.
Who's peanut butter?
No, it's not a person.
Ain't Laylee, ain't Laylee.
Peanut
That ain't
butter
Uncle
squash.
Seabird we talking about.
Ain't Larry and Uncle
I
Stephen.
feel good.
Ain't Layla's, oh,
When he
back
came
to
to
what
eat,
he lived in the wagon and
Uh-oh, it's okay.
I kinda got it stuck in the sand. And I think a possum run across the front or something. Oh, look, he said a quadruple marsupial quadruped with a prehensile tail.
Trying to impress Aunt Laylee.
The good one was that they was all at Uncle Miller's and they had a preacher and he had a big nose. And he told all the kids, said, now don't make anything about Mr. So-and-so's nose because he's self-conscious of the fact. And this one of them come by and was pouring coffee for everybody, and she said, Mr. Jones, would you have some coffee in your nose?
This is one of the adults.
that was the one that told the kids not to.
She had it on her mind.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was cream, maybe.
Hey.
You got some cream in your nose.
Tell Ben about his uncle, Ben and Joe about their Uncle Lou.
At what?
Uncle Lou,
Blue lines?
Uncle Tack.
We're not kin of those West Side lions.
About Uncle Tack and the wagon.
Uncle Tack in the wagon.
Oh, Uncle Jack went to town and picked up all
There you go,
kinds of
Jared.
stuff. He picked up a barrel of
Shut up,
That's
flour.
Lou and Les is daddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's an Aunt Dora, Grandma Dora's
Ben,
daddy.
I don't know about those people.
He was
Well,
coming
it's your
home.
grandma, that's daddy's mama's brothers is.
Oh,
Well, he was bad to read. And he sat up on that wagon, just let the horses go, and they wandered off into the woods. Run over a log, lost a barrel of flour. He strewed stuff everywhere.
Still reading.
Still reading. I guess he had to go back. Another thing he done, he carried
That's your grandmother's daddy.
a
Not he, is yours.
milling of corn to the water mill, get it ground, and he had it on the horse. When he got the corn all ground up and everything, he throwed it across his shoulder and went home and got home and said,
Left his horse.
Uncle Jack, where's the horse? I had to walk back to the water mill and get the horse.
He was preoccupied.
Joe, that's your cousin. Your cousin.
No, Tack,
Uncle.
now, Tack is his great grandpa.
man,
The point of
No,
this, the point
great
of this,
uncle. Not Grandpa.
If that's Dora's papa,
Was that Dora's brother?
It's kind of scary.
Dora's papa.
How far back?
Hey, I think we need to make a point on the video that means that you two are slightly related.
That's kind of scary.
Yes,
The
we
offspring
are.
and that.
I have known
So
that.
that
And we're in
explains
Mississippi.
So much.
It's from different sides, though, but they have a common relative.
Yeah.
No, it's
Is
not.
that the drawing thing?
It's
Well,
from
I was
the-
trying to make it
The
sound better.
The tree goes. The tree don't go like this. The tree goes. whoop.
It does not.
We're like 60th cousin, okay? It's like really far off.
tree doesn't.
Okay, and what cousin are we?
Your you're 5 great,
You
my
talking
6th
about Uncle
grade.
Tack's mama would be the 3rd grade. No, would be the
Tack
1st grade.
Lou's daddy, Beth Meyer, and
Okay.
Dora,
Dora.
and Aunt Lisa, Aunt Jane, Cora.
bunch of them.
That's all our great aunts.
So-
Dora's our grandmother.
So her grandpa, her grandma,
4 different generations to Jacob, here, I guess.
Jacob.
Wouldn't that be right?
Jacob. Close enough.
Okay, see, you talking about Uncle Tack's mama was a Welborn? Uncle Tack's wife was a
Grandma, Uncle Tack's grandma was a Welborn.
Welborn. So that puts it about 5 or
I'm
6
telling you, we far
generations
back.
You'd have to do a lot of mixing
I'm
to get all
very
mixed
sad
up
that
with
y'all
that.
haven't had this conversation before now. But
I didn't know it till about 10 years after we
You better
got
go check
married.
your tree, Abby.
Yeah, Lee and I need to do some tree checking.
That would suck.
I think we're okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready? We are.
I think you need to
that
film
was
the
good,
ride home,
good,
that'd be
good.
fun.
Here, I gotta get my
Good
mom.
television. On the 4th of July, I'm glad to hear that.
Tell me a story.
Oh,
I guess
Oh,
Hey, Grandpa.
oh, I couldn't
you
do
know,
that in
you've done
100
this
years.
before, and I don't even know a story.
How about an 86?
Hey, Jerry, tell him in your man.
I know some stories, but I want you to tell them on tape.
Hey, we filmed you in high
See
definition.
y'all.
Later, Joey.
I just lived a very,
Yeah.
bye,
We filmed you in high definition.
a very simple
Yeah.
life.
So you're
Not as
cutting edge.
exciting as
We're gonna
World
see
War
Jerry
II.
Kringle.
Amount anything, I mean.
I would have liked to been a waves over
We can
there.
make you a star.
Okay.
We'll sell
Service.
t-shirts with your face on it.
Would
Um,
be nice, or nurse,
Like
Red
that.
Cross nurse, or something like
I
that.
remember you telling about the troops passing by and y'd wave.
You weren't real sure what it was
Oh.
till now?
I had a boyfriend came to see me.
Oh, really?
Oh, Grandma's talking about.
I can talk.
I've never heard this story. Wait a minute.
Yes, you have, and the maneuvers were coming through. It was dark, and I don't know, I guess we might have heard a collision, and we went down there. They had a collision. And I can't remember who the girl, the other boy was, but we kind of got to flirting with those soldiers, and the boyfriends, I never saw him again.
Oh, well, what was his name?
Oh, it was A.D. Gainey.
Well, that's a good thing.
Probably so.
Any other exciting stories?
Why did you put someone on the spot?
I know some, but we're not telling them.
Well, don't even be
We're not telling them to the whole world at least.
Mm-mm. All right. Say night night.
Night, night.
All right, Brandon, you can cut it off.
Say
Like what you say to a child.
Yeah. 9